boy, oh boy, has it been a crazy last couple weeks. I've had so much going on with all my cars, with the Maserati, with the Corvettes. Then I've done a bunch of work to my dad's 1974 C3 Corvette Stingray, his 1964 Chevy Corvair that has absolutely no brakes, very sketchy to drive, and my sister's car has just been the biggest headache ever. She has a 2010 BMW 335 Xi, the all-wheel drive model, and she came into my shop and I put AC in it, and she left perfectly fine. She went to the cities and called me because she had an engine malfunction, her car shut down, and just throwing codes all over the dash. And finally had time to bring it to my shop, and a module went out, coolant's overheating, what else? Lights don't work, windows don't work, just a huge headache. And then on the Corvettes, that has been also a little bit of a headache. I got my rockers. Rockers showed up, I installed them, and I was really happy to start it up, because that same day I started up, I was taking the Maserati and the Corvette to a car show that I've been waiting a long time to go to with both my cars. And when I started it up, it was just screaming. It was squealing, and I think there was an issue with one of my rockers, as my luck would have. So I gotta retake the valve covers off and check all the rockers and make sure they all torque down as they should. Just getting back home from work. We're gonna go inside, park the car, and then we'll go ahead and look at the Corvettes and just talk about that. And then we'll go over to the shop and take a look at the 74 Corvette, because you guys haven't seen that car, and it's just a lot of fun to drive, and it's an old car, it's cool. All right, here it is. I had it all put together and ready to make content with it. And like I said, I wanted to go to that car show so bad, and I just couldn't. I ended up taking the Maserati, but when we got to the car show, a severe thunderstorm rolled through and canceled it. So I guess it's a good thing it wasn't ready. It's just a fun car show in my hometown that everybody goes to. You got a car show, then you go through a little 15-mile cruise, and then you park in downtown city. And it's just a lot of fun, and I really wanted to go to it. So I was a little disappointed that the Corvette couldn't go and that it ended up being canceled. So again, I'm gonna take the valve covers off and just make sure everything's torqued down. It's possible the clacking around I'm hearing is that maybe one of them didn't get torqued to 22 foot-pounds like it's supposed to be, and that it just is still loose and it's clacking around in there, because I can hear it through my exhaust. And last time I heard my rockers through my exhaust, it was broken. So I'm just hoping that it's just loose. So like when I said earlier that I've been just absolutely slammed the last couple weeks, one of the cars that I was working on was this 1974 Chevy Corvette Stingray. It's in fairly good condition. Leaks from everything possible. Leaks from the engine, leaks from the tranny, rear end. So what we did to it is new tires in the rear, all the fluids, coolants, and we're converting it from R12 to 134. What's a lot of fun with this car is it's a 4-speed manual, and every time I get into it, I kind of just smile. It's old, it's unique, it's a classic, and it's not fast by any means. It's just fun to drive. So if I remember correctly, Chevy called their Corvette Stingrays, or base models, the Stingrays. So technically, if you go by that, I have a Stingray Corvette. Should I compare the two from a 74 to a 99? Yeah, 2-year generation difference, but I have both of them here. Should I make a video on it? Another thing that I'm gonna have to work on at some point is my dad's 1986 Pontiac Trans Am. And he's had this car since he was in high school. And it has a massive blower on it. And what I have to do to it is, it needs a new fuel pump. It has no fuel pressure, so we're gonna have to fix that. And then I'm gonna have to take it to my work, and we're gonna cut a bigger hole into it and put the hood on it. I like the hoodless look, but I feel like with the hood, it'll look so much better. It'll look a lot cleaner, and I just can't wait to see this thing driving on the road and drive it. Because this thing's loud, it's fun, it screams, and it's just fast. But seeing that blower hat through the windshield, basically at eye level, is just such a cool feeling. Continuing on, like I said earlier, another car I have to work on is 1964 Chevy Corvair. Not many of these around. People love them or they hate them. It's cool. Engine in the back, super light, really fast for back then. And then manual transmission. It just has no brakes. So you can have as much fun as you want, but you're not stopping. So this thing, hopefully it's not gonna be too bad. I just have a big feeling it's gonna be a big headache to figure out why the brakes aren't working. My guess is master cylinder's out and or has ruptured brake lines. Lastly, continuing on more of my headache is this. This is my brother's 1998 Camaro SS that for a Christmas present we threw a cam in it just to make it a little bit more aggressive. And it's just been problem after problem after problem. Rockers are hitting valve covers. Can't get valve cover spaces for this car because for whatever reason, instead of like a regular LS, instead of it being 4 bolts in the center, it's like 8 or 10 bolts around the valve cover itself. And so I got different rockers for it that clear and you don't hit the valve cover, but now it's not idling right. So I gotta adjust the idle and then test drive it and then get it tuned more at some point. And it's just been a huge headache. And it had a huge vacuum leak, which I found actually yesterday. So that has been taken care of. So hopefully this thing is running soon. And what I mean soon could be next week, could be 2 months from now. So who knows? And then lastly, nothing wrong with this car. Don't have to do any work to this car. But just to show you quickly, because it's such a unicorn, is this. It is a 2000 Plymouth Prowler, and it has gone through SEMA, it has gone through Barrett-Jackson, it's 100% custom build, custom paint, custom doors, custom interior, exhaust work, huge wheels, and it's really cool. And then lastly, 2 more cars that we have here in our fleet is, it's not here yet, it's actually still in Wisconsin, is a 1919 Ford Model T. So it's a pickup truck version. And then we have a 1947 Ford that was rebuilt for my grandma because that's what she learned how to drive in. So we rebuilt it for her. Has a Chevy 350 engine in it. And at some point we're gonna go ahead and put an actual Ford engine in it. I think that's a good stopping point for today. Just kind of briefly go through the chaotic mess that I've been going through for the last week and a half. And I think to start, I'm gonna take my valve cover off and make sure all my rocker arms are torqued. And just like that, I think the video is over.